So howdy. Yep, we've come here for carnage. I know, it's taken me too fucking long to get here. So how we been? How have we all been? We've been okay? Let's give you guys a couple more minutes before we make a start. So, actually not, fuck it, it'll take me a couple of minutes to go through what we're doing here anyway. So, well, welcome, that's the word I'm looking for. VoiceBox actually works. So, welcome to, well, the first ever live commentary, I say live commentary, not live commentary, commentary for our Super Formula series. So this Super Formula series has already been a race at Spa. I wasn't here, I was away on holiday. The file is too big to share, hence why we are starting here at round 2 in Barcelona. So what's the purpose of this? The purpose of this really is kind of fuck around and find out what goes on. Just here for some randomness. Yep, fair enough. You're the same as Claus, who's here for carnage. So I'm just here because I'm here. Anyway, so what's this sort of about? So the reason why you guys can see there's a safety car right in the background. There's a couple of different cars. So all of these different cars are based off tiers and people in different tiers on different tyre compounds. So in tiers 1, 3 and 5 you're in the SF23, which as you can see is everybody up to the first orange car, and then tiers 2, 4 and 6 are on the SF19. So the SF23 is slightly quicker in the corners, the SF19 is slightly quicker down the straight. There is not much difference in them at all. They are very, very similar. Now, instead of everybody just sticking softs on and going on and tier 1 basically winning everything, to try and close the pack up, BX and I, who did a load of testing before season 15 started, have decided that drivers from tier 1 and 2 are going to be on the hard compounder tyre, tiers 3 and 4 on the mediums, and tiers 5 and 6 on the softs. Now, to stop the tyre wear being a thing and the soft drivers having to pit every 10 laps or 5-10 laps, and the medium the hard drivers just basically filling up with fuel and going, tyre wear has been turned off, so there is no such thing as tyre wear in this series. Saying that, the fuel has been turned up to 4 times fuel, so fuel, you got to watch your fuel, so a little bit. So 43 laps around this track. On top of that, we have a new thing, myself, yes, I know, me commentating in the safety car. So we have a race director, which this race was BX. Usually it's Pyro, but Pyro decided he wanted to roleplay on a date being Lady in the Tramp, so he wasn't here. So BX had to fill in. So basically BX deems what's appropriate for a safety car, what's not appropriate for a safety car, and then we go through normal Formula 1 safety car rules. No overtaken set before start finish straight when the safety car the start finish line before the safety car comes in, that sort of thing is in place. Saying that, you will not see me much this race. You'll only see me about 3 or 4 times. Something does happen on one of the safety car times out when I'm out on the safety car. We'll come to that later. I think a lot of people know what's going to happen. I have no idea what's happened through the race. I don't really see. All my view is the pit box. So, without further ado, because I've been yapping how a series works, I'm going to get us started. So, usually on the starts when I'm here in the safety car, I let the whole grid go and then I go, so that I do not get involved with this lot at all. So we got 3, 4. How fucking dare I haven't gone through the grid? Jesus, I'm getting too far ahead of myself. So just before we get going, we have got Astro in the Aston Martin. Funny enough, Lance Stroll was not in it. It's actually a decent driver. We then got Mr. Revenge in the Ferrari in P2. We've got CMP in P3 with his teammate in the Braun GP SF23 cars in P4. We got Swavi in the Lotus. Yep, we got Swavi in a Lotus SF19, the first SF19, in 5th position. We got Moo in the Amaro McLaren Honda in 6th. We've got the other Ferrari in 7th with TM. We got Owen in 8th in, is that the Lotus as well? Yes, in the other Lotus. Different type of Lotus. In 8th, we then got Kapil in 9th in the Haas, in the Rich Energy Haas, which actually looks really nice. I think it's one of my favourites. We then got Javan in 10th in one of the McLaren Oracle Red Bulls. We then got Anomina in, I think that's how you say it, Anomina in 11th in the other Aston Martin. We got Jono Finn in 12th in the other Haas. We then got Draz in bringing up the rear in 13th position. We've obviously got myself in 14th, but I don't count. So we do a qualifying. I'll very briefly go through that. So basically, the qualifying goes, the bottom 3 drivers go out. So if there's going to be a maximum of 14 drivers. So then the bottom 4 goes out. So the slowest 4 go out of effectively Q1. Then we then have Q2, which is a one-hit. All of this is one-shot quali, by the way. So if you screw up your lap, that's it. You're done, pretty much. So 14th to 10th is determined first. Then 10th to 6th is determined, and then 6th through to 1st is Q3. Before we carry on into the race. So enough of me talking. We got 5 red lights and away we go. As Astro gets a good start, so does Aro. Aro makes an excellent start. Aro's not really using his battery. He's going to go straight down the inside of Mr. Revenge. Does he potentially contest for the lead? No, he backs out of it. As there's a little bit of argy-bargy, so CMP overtakes his teammate, is now going up the inside of Revenge for second place. As we got a spin, we already have a spinner coming out as Astro shoots right off into the distance. We're going to go back through the rest of near the back of the grid for a moment. I don't actually know who spins. Someone further back. No, it's not. It's Swavi. How was Swavi? So as we go through turn 1, Swavi's deep up the inside. Astro cuts the corner of turn 1, so he outbrakes himself. So Swavi just gets out into the... Swavi just gets out and has a massive snap of oversteer. So Kapil's down to 12th as well. And then here I come, very slowly catching up the back. So we'll leave them as we've just seen 2 people have a huge snap of oversteer. Going through turn 4 as we come round turn 5 of the kink of 6, as we've got all the backfiring going on, as we've got Draz going up the inside of Finn. That's not quite going to work. Finn's off. Who else is off? So's Draz. So both of these drivers are off as well. Looking further up the field, we've got Kapil versus Anomina at the moment. They stay in their position. Owen's making his way through, so's J Vans, but J Van is chasing TM at the moment. TM's used up a little bit of his battery. Not many people are using up their battery at the moment. RO's used up a bit of his battery as well. He's chasing down Mo as he has a massive swipe for the move for the inside. Doesn't make it work. No, move just about gives him gives him enough space. The top 3, there's no changes in position. Mr. Revenge remains in P2 at the moment, starting to try and chase down P3, but CMP's having to defend from Moo. Moo's having a look up the inside of turn 5, sorry. And no move this time. So I'm just going to let my stream catch up on my phone. And I'm going to do, yeah, fair enough. Just here for the G, yeah, fair enough. As we all are, as we all have some extra racing to watch today. I know it's incredibly rare. So Aro's now all over the back of Moo. Can Aro get past Moo as Aro uses up a little bit of his battery? Further back, Anomina and Owen are having a battle. Anomina goes around the outside, Owen's up the inside. Still trying, no, Anomina goes straight on through. What's happened to TM? TM, I think, might have just had a moment, we just haven't seen it. Looking further back, we got Draz, who's way down the order. And then, obviously, I'm sat in the pit. Why he comes in is... Why'd you come in? Okay, it's definitely on purpose. So, I just want to point something out to you guys whilst I have the opportunity to, as I look through the grid for a quick battle, which is about up here. No, batteries do not retire the car, yeah. So, the batteries do not recharge in this, so basically, if you look down on the bottom near the track map, there is an overtake. That's all you get for 43 laps. So for another 40 laps, Iro, that's all he has. So, there is no recharge. And funny enough, you can actually tell if somebody's out of charge in these cars, as we have a little spinner. Who's just had a moment? Was that Owen? Let's just go back and have a look. Who had a little moment? That was Owen. Very well saved, my good sir. Does Kapil have a look? Kapil does have a look straight up the inside. Owen doesn't use his overtake. Has only used very little of his overtake. Kapil's not used much either. Owen's trying to strike back. Can't quite strike back at this hairpin at the moment. He can strike back at the hairpin. He's just seems to have gotten a lot better exit than Kapil. So Owen back through. Anomina behind Aro again. Still behind Aro. Aro versus Javan at the moment, going down the straight. Moves just slightly ahead as well. So Moo's still holding on to full position. So good job from Moo at the moment. So yeah, as I was saying, damage in this is not light. Damage in this mode is heavy. So the only way for you to repair damage is for you to come into the pits, and as J-Van is all over the road, can't keep the rear of that car in one piece at the moment. Aro's looking for the switchback, gotten a little bit wide on entry, trying to capitalise at the moment. We can't capitalise this lap. And that is right behind these two though, so we'll stick with this pack whilst I talk through the damage. Oh, never mind, I was about to start talking, but RO doing RO thing. Actually, I'm going to watch it. We're going to watch on this camera angle. It's quite an interesting camera angle as we go around the right-hander as the eye just hits the sausage curb. Well saved. So he loses out 6th position to Anonymous. It's quite a gap back to Owen, so he's okay for now. But yeah, as I was saying, so damage in this mode, until you pit, is permanent, so it's heavy damage. So for example, if the two drivers are fiercely battling and they hit smack into the wall, both drivers have front end damage, or front wing damage as they say. They both have to box to repair the damage. Now, Kapil versus Juno Finn. This will be interesting. The two Haas drivers, both teammates. This will be interesting to see how this pans out. So we'll keep an eye on that. I just want to jump forward again because I'm seeing some... No, I thought I saw something. So, CMP doing his best. Mr. Revenge is sort of in his zone some. But Astro's just on another planet of pace at the moment. A 22.7 and a 22.9. And then a 22.7 on all the 3 previous laps. 23s, 23 and 24s. Yeah, the Astro's about a good second or two quicker than the rest of the grid. And Moo has got himself a half-second penalty. Is that on the exit of this corner here? Yes. Yes, it is. There, we just witnessed it. So, Moo's got himself a half-second penalty. This is now going to free up CMP and it's going to push him right into the claws of J-Van, maybe even Phenomena. This was pre-ban. So we will come across this. I'm not going to talk about it until we get there. As J-Van uses all the track and a little bit extra, so J-Van's now got himself a half-second penalty as well. So this is not looking good for these two drivers, as J-Van's using a lot more entry curve than Moo, trying to maximise the speed that he can, as Phenomena is right up the rear wing of J-Van, as J-Van's defending the inside line, as Phenomena tries to drive around the outside. There's a hard tyre versus medium tyre. J-Van's doing a really good job at the moment keeping Phenomena behind him, and Ara's not far behind. So Moo's now built a gap. Moo's not really used any of his overtake yet. He's built a bit of a gap to J-Van, so he should be okay in 4th. J-Van, however, he will lose out. And so, speaking of losing out, we're going to use this fancy new camera angle that we've spotted for Aro, as Aro comes around this right-hander. Does he do Aro things? He does do Aro things, as he is full throttle coming around that corner, and irreversible damage has been done to this driver right now. So Kapil serves his penalty. Now notice, we'll stick with Aro for a minute because Aro is going to be my test subject, unwillingly, but he's going to do it. Gee, thanks. Cap, if you go back to about the 4 or 5 minute mark of this video, I'll explain it. But notice how Aro still has damage, and now he has to, so Aro's coming into box. Oh, this is lovely. I'm fully expecting a load of shit back from him, but oh mate, you just can't get it turned. Alright, I'll let you have that dignity. I'll let you have some dignity left. So, Aro was running really, really well. He was running in 5th position, and now he's all the way back down. Dropped down the order, so J-Van still keeps his 5th position. Anonymous wasn't able to get past him on that previous lap due to J-Van's penalty. Moose still holds 4th. So J-Van and Anonymous still together. A bit more of the battery than J-Van, so let's see if Anonymous can make any moves as we go a little bit further back. Finn has managed to get himself past Owen, past the Lotus driver. Let's jump back forward again. Charging down this front straight. No battery being used from Anonymous. No battery being used from J-Van either. So either driver feeling like they don't need to use it at the moment. Potentially I might have used a little. Oh, that was a little bit of a squiggle coming out of turn 4. And all that's closing the gap. J-Van's starting to feel the pressure a little bit, I think. Yeah, screw it. We'll jump on board with Anonymous for a little bit using this fancy camera angle. I quite like this one actually. It'd be quite nice if we had this in some of the GT cars, as Anonymous uses all the road and a little bit extra as he's chasing down J-Van. J-Van seems to have found a little bit more pace at the moment. Let's jump forward. J-Van's still trying to chase down Moo. Moo doing an absolute fantastic job in the SF19. Like I said, slightly quicker down the start finish, down the long straights, down the SF23s. Whereas the SF23s are a little bit more tricky in the corners. This is a little bit more stable. Yes, it does. Any mistake in this category, it does cost you. As Aro has demonstrated, because Aro is now effectively plumb last, as we have lost a driver. I have noticed we did lose a driver. I can't remember who we lost. I'll try and figure it out. No, I can't figure it out. But we have lost somebody in this race, as I'm going to flick back through as we got Swavy versus Kapil. This will be a good battle. Let's see if that was it. TM, cheers mate. So TM ended up jumping out of this race, which was unfortunate, so hopefully we will see him again this week. So whilst watching Swavy go around in this Lotus Caterham 2012 livery? I can't remember. As we're watching Swavy and Kapil go around this Barcelona track, coming around the final corner for the final time, this series, as Kapil does use up some energy here. This series is on alternate weeks. Oh yeah, of course. I forgot about that because the Ferrari did the Ferrari, didn't they? So, we'll come back to that in just a moment. You'll understand what I'm saying as I jump forward to try and find ourselves a battle. Still Anonymous is trying to get past J-Van, and here comes Finn. Finn's now starting to catch up to this group. Basically, we are doing this series basically every 2 weeks. So, this race was 2 weeks ago. Last week we did a different race, which was either the Oval or the 2-hour endurance series. I can't remember which one it was. Whereas this week it is now going to be the Super Formula series. Now, the Ferrari lineup. So, let's talk about that quickly because it's something to talk about. So so everybody has been given a team. So the thing about this series is you're in a Formula-One based team, which is why there are the white Aston Martin back from a couple of years ago. There is move with another half-second penalty catching up to CMP in the old McLaren livery as well as a Brawn GP livery. So there's you and a teammate in a Formula 1 car team, so like I said, Brawn GP, McLaren, that sort of thing. So we're going to jump further back because these three drivers are now getting a lot closer together. So there's 2 packs of drivers I want to keep an eye out on. Now the Ferrari team lineup, funny enough, was this driver here, Mr. Revenge, as well as TMP. Now TMP has unfortunately left this race. Moo had a great run out of that corner, but is now just cost him through the penalty. As we come back and watch these 3 drivers, J-Van's managed to pull a little bit of a gap through the middle sector. Yeah, so because of what happened to Mr. Revenge, which we'll come to a little bit later in this race, and TMP left, we have a new Ferrari team lineup. So unfortunately this is the first and last time we're going to see TMP and Revenge in Ferraris. I know the Ferrari team did a Ferrari strategy on the Ferrari drivers. How Ferrari of them. So yeah. Now the next track, where are we going? So as you can clearly see, we are at Barcelona today. Today we're at Suzuka on Friday the 18th of October. So I'm not sure how many slots, spaces there are still. If people are interested, by all means, let me have a look actually before I start selling it. That'd be a good idea. Whilst we are watching. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any spaces for this week's race coming up. We got 13 drivers, we got 3 reserves. Obviously I'm in there because I'm the safety car driver, so I have to be in. So it might be worth just keeping an eye out and seeing if a call goes out for a spare driver if people want to come. So J-Van still going through his Anomina, has himself a half-second penalty, so this is now going to put him right into the clutches of Finn, but I don't think Finn's going to need that penalty, as we're going to jump on board with this fancy new camera angle in the slipstream. No battery being used, as the slipstream is a very powerful effect on these downforce-based cars. As Finn goes straight through into turn 1, move done before the end of before the apex of turn 1, so fantastic move from Finn. All the way down in tier 5, using the softer compounder tyre to his advantage. Now he's going to try and chase down J-Van, who's in the same car but on the harder compounder tyre. Let's jump back because I see a couple of cars as we got Capil versus Suavi. Suavi being in tier 4 and Capil being tier 1, I believe tier 1. So this is the nice thing about this tier, the way it's been balanced. Go teammate, go. So this is the nice thing about this tier. It does bring a lot of drivers from different tiers and different skill abilities together. I mean, Suavi on the mediums, Kapil on the hards. It's quite nice to see tier 1 drivers fighting it out with other tiers as Anonymous comes into the pits on lap 13. No safety car yet, everyone's behaving currently. Like the FA Cup, yeah, kind of like it. It's quite nice because, like I was just saying, we got Juno Finn, tier 5 driver, and he's battling it out with tier 1, tier 2s and tier 3 drivers, and he's in 6th position at the moment. So it's nice to see. We got Moo, tier 4 driver, my tier, and he's trying to close down and chase CMP, although he's used a lot more fuel. Now, speaking of fuel, so the fuel obviously it being 4 times fuel has obviously mean that you can't just one stop. Well, you possibly could, but your pace would be atrocious. You can't just one stop a race. With there being chances of a safety car or multiple safety cars, in this race, then you kind of really do need to push and get a wriggle on. As we're going to jump on board with Junafin. What happens here? Oh, he just lights up the rear tyres and he hits the reset. Maybe I should have. If you have a little spin out like that, you can probably hit reset quite quickly. So Moog's coming in for his pit stop to refuel. Junafin was right on the back of Javan. Now he's going to have to make up all that lost time again. It's about 6 seconds he lost. Now jumping further back as we got Kapil versus Suavi. Kapil using up some of his battery. Suavi's now using his battery too. So Suavi trying to use his battery, trying to get a bit closer to Kapil. Kapil's doing a good job at the moment. So Suavi did a 26.9, Kapil 25.5. So Kapil's starting to peel away from Suavi. Moo. Yeah, I know. As we got Moo's come out ahead of Anonymous, sorry. So this will be interesting. The medium compounder tyre versus the medium compounder tyre, but a different Super Formula car. As Anonymous tries to go around the outside looking for a switchback, straighter exit, not going to work this time. We're going to jump on board with Anonymous at the back. Let's try this fancy new camera angle. Let's see how this works with battles. As Moo goes a little bit slower through there than Anonymous able to commit a lot more to the corner. That's not me controlling the camera, by the way. That is the game doing this automatically. Let me see if I can control the camera. No, I can't. I can't even look backwards. So Anonymous having a little bit of a wobbly moment coming out of the hairpin. That's going to allow Moo to breathe for a little bit. Now Moo is using quite a bit of his battery. He's going to try and use a bit of his battery to build and bridge a gap as Astro comes into the pit. So Astro has just come in as we got Suavi versus Kapil. Kapil must have had a big problem. What's happened to Kapil? What has happened to Kapil? Does he just... Oh, Kapil just makes a mare of turn 1 and turn 2. So this is now Suavi's chance. Suavi can see Kapil's really close here. There's the battery, there's the overtake. Just a little bit, not massive amount. As I said earlier, here comes Astro. Astro into the pits from the lead. Does Revenge follow? We'll have a look in a moment. as Capil's all over, defending in the middle of the road as Suave's all over the back of Capil. Astro does not. Astro stays out, just watching the top left of the leaderboard at the same time. So does CMP. Let's jump over. Finn stays out as well. J-Van comes in. Wow. Owen stays out. Let's jump back on board with these two. Do either of these two come in for a pit stop to refuel and try and undercut the other one, or do they stay out? Capil's managed to break a bit of a gap, open up the gap again. So Swabby's now going to try and stay with him as long as he can. So we got Moo versus Anonyma. Both of these drivers on the same compound of tyre, just two different cars. Moo's already used up, he's now used up half of his energy, whereas Anonyma has barely used any of his. So Moo trying to capitalise on the straights and trying to use the straight line speed to his advantage. He's used a good chunk of his energy, so he's now at half, compared to Anonyma, who's on nearly full. Let's jump back forward again. Now, Finn's going to have to come in. Revenge is definitely going to have to come in. So CMP. So CMP and Revenge have swapped position. When? Whoa, we just missed something. Oh, well, I say we. I just missed something. So what's happened to Revenge? Oh, he just lights up the rears and just gets slapped. Sorry for hitting my microphone on stream as he slams it into the wall. So CMP takes the lead from Revenge. So CMP goes straight on through, carries straight on. Revenge has got front wing damage on downforce heavy cars. That's not a good thing. Finn, not with no damage and on the softer compounded tyres, going to try and reel in Revenge. So Revenge is definitely going to drop in now. Now as Finn goes on for another lap. You should have come in. You should have come in, mate. But it's, yeah, anyway. So Owen's now going to Owen's coming in as well, refuel. So here comes our net race leader. Astro Pit had done that before. What's his outlap look like? His outlap looks okay. He used up not much of his battery, still got a good chunk of it left. He's now going to look at extending his lead. Capil's now got himself a half-second penalty. On top of that, he's using his battery to defend from Swavy. Is Swavy using his battery? No. Capil's used up a bit of his battery. But Capil, with a half-second time penalty, is probably going to fall behind Swavy. So Swavy staying with him. Swavy taking a slightly tighter line, not opening up the steering column nearly as much as Capil. Capil taking a bit of a smoother line. Swavy taking a wider line, trying to get some clean air. Swavy defending the inside of 5. So we come out the corner. Swavy has a little moment, still close enough for that penalty to be a problem. Who's that ahead? So we've got Draz up ahead in the VR system, nearly getting colliding with Capil and Swavy. This Capil has a little moment. Swavy goes wide. So Swavy now goes past Capil finally, as Draz has been lapped by Finn, Swavy, Astro and Capil. So I want to know, sorry, did Finn run out of fuel? No, he was able to just get in. So Finn, with the luck of the Irish, has managed to get in with some fuel left over. Astro now comes around the last corner to take back the lead of the race on lap 18. Let's just jump further back through the field as we got a battle. still unravelling as Moo versus Anonymous is still going on. I wasn't missing the Swavi and Capel battle, we watched it. So, Capel's come into the pits. Anonymous still biting. Still biting? He's not biting, he's fighting. That's the word I was looking for. Moo's managed to get away a little bit, but his battery level is low. Sorry, I'm just going to catch up very, very quickly with the comments on stream. Just give me 2 seconds. Maybe we go ahead to work for extra immersion. Yeah, it does. Luck of the finish? Yeah, it could be. It could be luck of the finish. I just thought luck of the Irish because that was the first thing that came to my mind. But it could be luck of the finish. Now, looking back, as we got the Finn in 6th position, in a very respectable position at the moment. We've got J-Van in 7th, we got Revenge all the way down in 8th after making a slight error here a couple of laps ago. No error this time. Going to jump forward a couple of cars, make sure that Moo's just gone a little bit wide at the hairpin. Is this going to allow Anonymous to have a look? There's a massive moment going into this right-hander. A flying Finn anyway. Yeah, he is a flying Finn anyway. I might refer to him as the flying Finn in this series because he's, I believe, the only Finnish driver in this series. Does Moo use any of his battery? No. Does Anonymous? No, he uses the slipstream. Are we going to see a move down into turn 1? They are not quite side by side. Anonymous backs out of it in the move into turn 1. The flying Finn in 6th. J-Van in 7th. Mr. Revenge in 8th. We got Aro in 9th after having made a really, really unfortunate mistake earlier on in this race. We then got Owen in 10th. We got Capel in 11th, and we got Draz a lap down? Yeah, a lap down. He's been lapped already. So we'll stick with this battle for a bit. Let's look a bit further up ahead as we got Swavi's lapped Draz now as well. So Astro just doing Astro things, way out ahead, way ahead. He's I wouldn't say he's got a pit, not quite a pit stop free, but he's probably got about half a pit stop gap to CMP, which is potentially the net P2. It is probably the net P2. Swavi carries on for another lap. Does Moo use any of his energy coming out of the final corner? Bear in mind we've got 23 more laps yet. No, he doesn't. So Moo's starting to extend a little bit. He's starting to open up the gap. I'm just keeping an eye on the minimap just to keep an eye on my icon further up ahead. As Draz is trying to stick with Swavi as best as he can. Excuse me, let's jump a little bit further back as Anonymous is now all over the back of Moo. So, does Anonymous make good use of these following couple of corners? We'll jump on board with this funky camera angle again. So Anonymous uses a little splash of energy, Moo doesn't. Anonymous better on the brakes, gives Moo a little tap as we come out of the exit of the hairpin, around the left, around the right, steady and straight this time. There's no funky movements. Moo's definitely feeling the pressure this time. Is there going to be a move into turn 1? So Moo's using his energy. You can see by the way he's just pulled a bit of a gap. He's still using energy. He's still using energy. With 20 laps to go, we should, if people are using it sensibly, you'll be about halfway, not nearly empty with nearly 20 to go. So Anonymous doing a good job at the moment, burning out Moo's energy. As we jump further forward, as Moo's slowly starting to catch up with CMP, very, very slowly starting to catch up. CMP's there. I think CMP might have had a little mistake. Oh, Moo nearly had a massive mistake coming out of that corner, completely sideways. You can almost see the helmet of the driver ahead. Now here comes the energy. Now Anonymous has a look around the outside as we go up to the left-hander. Moo brakes a little late, does go up the inside of Anonymous, and it makes it stick. So Moo stays ahead at the moment. We then got the flying fin behind, just in the top of the picture. And this is now creating a bit of a gap for CMP just to disappear. Moo comes around the final corner. Does he use any of his energy? He does. How much of it does he use? Does he dare save some for an emergencies? Or does he use a lot? He pretty much empties it. He's now empty. So Moo, no energy left. Now, look at where above his halo. Let me try and get another camera angle. You can see there's a green light. There's a green light. No, green light. Green light. So, looking at the green lights means that Moo is now out of energy. So, when a safety car comes out, if a safety car comes out, the drivers will be looking at if there's a green light behind them or not, and if they notice that there's no green light, they know they're okay, and they also know that the other driver is out of energy. So if there's a safety car coming up, which I reckon there will be soon, as Anonymous has a dive up the inside on Moo. Does he make it work? He makes it stick this time through the hairpin. So Moo now down to fourth as Anonymous has a little snap of oversteer, goes off wide, comes back on. Moo takes the position back again. As further back we got Aro, who's just had a little bit of a moment, comes back on the track. He's all okay. He comes back in the track. Revenge slowly starting to close up on J-Bound, but I'm more interested in this battle here, the battle for third position, as the flying fin is now all over the back of Anonymous. Moo's just gained himself a little bit of distance. So Aro's back in the pits with 1% of his fuel tank left. Anonymous all over the back of Moo, closed right back up to Moo as we go through turn 4. I want to have a look at another battle going on at the final sector, but this at the moment is just too good to miss. So Moo's still holding on to third. The flying fin's still there as we have a look at the flying. Let's watch from the flying fin's perspective. As the fin goes a little wide, so he's going to lose out on the momentum. Does Anonymous close up on Moo? He does. As we go around the right-hander, Moo's a little squiggly, loses out on some momentum. Anonymous comes. Okay, keeps the momentum. He's on his way. He's definitely on his way. He's definitely tucked up on the slipstream. Does he use any energy, or does he save it? He saves it. He's not going to use any energy at the moment. I don't think he will use any energy. I think he's a bit too far back. Go through turn 1. I'm just going to jump forward quickly as... Okay, it's just Astro lapping traffic. As we come back to... There's our battle. Here we are. Here's our battle. So Anonymous still all over the back of Moo. He did make the move once. He then had a little moment, so Moo just went straight back through. So Anonymous got to redo all the work he's just done again. But crucially, Moo is slowly starting to catch up with CMP. CMP just going past our screen. Both Anonymous and Moo have got similar amounts of fuel. Does Anonymous make a move? No, he sits behind. Does a different line. There's a yellow flag. Who's off? Who's off? Is that that's Draz? Sorry, I was trying to figure out who went off. Does he just overcook it on the exit? Yeah, really overcooks it on the exit. But to be fair, it's a sensible way to get out of the way. So, an Anima comes straight through. Was that a safety car? Sorry. It is. The safety car's out. So the safety car got called out. So the safety car will jump back in a minute. I know it will, because you can't stop at the end of the pit lane for some silly reason. So all the drivers, as you can see, are now piling into the pits. So when the safety car comes out, there is obviously no overtaking at all. End of. Alright, CMP goes through, that goes through. There was also, I'm not sure if it was this safety car stop or a different safety car stop, but someone did turn around and say that they did get past, so I just want to double check on the replays. Now, there is, obviously, if Owen goes around and doesn't pit and everyone else does, and if he decides to stay out, then he will probably jump all the way up to second position and gain track position. But Owen comes into pits. So we got Swavi in 8th, still ahead of Kapil. So Swavi could make up a load of spots here, or potentially even one, by coming in earlier. So I think this is what people were confused about. So CMP comes out. Moo comes out. So Moo was jumped in the pits by Anonymous and Finn, which I think people were a bit confused about. And here comes Revenge as well. So Astro's in the pits. I'm still here waiting. Swavi's going to be told to carry on to unlap himself. So Astro's in the pits, and we're waiting for everyone else to go around. Now Draz is at the back of all this, so Draz will be, once we can all catch up to the safety car, Draz will most likely be told to pass, so we're going to jump back on board with Astro as he comes out the pits. Now yes, it only says lap 2 for me and it says yes blue flags, but it's because I'm inside the pits and safety car. So for the minute we're just going to stick on board. Kapil's going to be told to go past. Now the safety car, whilst people are catching up, I was initially clear to go to 100, and then we got told to back it off to 70. So well, now I usually run in miles an hour, so other people run differently. So what we're going to be doing at the moment is just waiting for everyone to catch up. It's kind of the boring bit, because it neutralises everything. Now, as you can see, a lot of these drivers are in top gear, trying to not use as much fuel as possible, so they'll turn down the richness all the way down to as lean as possible, trying to not use up as much fuel whilst catching up. They can use the tyres, obviously, because there's no tyre wear. I thought Moo was ahead. I don't know. Let's jump forward a little bit more. Unless you're Moo and just decides to rev it out everywhere. So Moo and his teammate running together at the moment, 6th and 12th. As the rest of the grid is slowly starting to catch up to the back of the safety car, as we come around to really start lap So right now we're sitting at 70 miles an hour. We're going to let everybody catch up. Because we got Finn that's catching up. We got Revenge that's catching up now. We got Mood catching up, and like I said, I'm expecting Davey to Draz, sorry, not Davey, Draz to be told to carry on going. In actual fact, there he goes. He's going to go charging straight past everybody. So Draz is going through. Kapil's starting to catch, and Aro's starting to catch up. So we're sort of at the trail end dregs as Swavy comes in. Since safety car's not that far ahead, it's only coming out the exit of turn 3 now, so he can get away with pitting. Iro pits as well, so really sort of top off the tanks, try and gain an advantage, even if it's by a lap, to everybody else, and so does Kapil. So J-Van's starting to catch up to the back of the pack as well. So, in the grid order we currently have at the moment, we've got Astro in first, who has set a dominant display on at the moment. Only really lost positions because of him pitting. We got CMP in second. Again, sort of a good opening start, not really lost out since then. We got Moo in third, having a really good race so far, although he's got no charge left. Whereas everybody around him has got at least half, if not more. We got Anonymous in 4th position. We then got Finn in 5th, doing a fantastic job. At the moment, we've got Revenge in 6th. We got Owen in 7th. We got J-Van in 8th. We've got Swavy in 9th, just catching up. We then got Aro in 10th, again, just starting to catch up to the back of the pack. We've got Kapil in 11th, and we've got Draz down in 12th, still catching up. So we're going to watch the safety car for a minute. We're still waiting for the other drivers to come around. Now the other drivers are obviously going to be weaving a lot, trying to keep the temperatures in the tyres. They're going to try and be fuel saving as much as possible. Astro doing a fantastic job at keeping his fuel tank as high as possible. CMP's doing good. Everybody's about similar position. I think the lowest person is J-Van at the moment. Everybody else behind is pretty much full. Draz at the moment actually got the lowest, and then obviously there's me. But oh, the fastest outlap I think I've ever seen, right there, 37 minutes. Now, Draz is just coming into turn 1, as you can see on the mini-map, so pace has been told pace can go up to 100 miles an hour or pick up the pace. Now, we did do some safety car tests pre-starting this race series. Initially it was going to be 70 miles an hour, leave it, but it was decided that 70 maybe was a little bit too slow, so we were going to up the pace just a little bit. Now, the reason why I'm going to stick with the safety car for a minute is I believe I get called in a minute. Now, you can tell when I get called in because I'm going to be going for it, and Astro will take charge of the pack. So I think, is it happening now? Yeah, it's happening now. So I've gone over 100, which means safety car's coming in. So Astro is in charge of the field. Now, Astro being in charge of the field, he can go whenever, provided he doesn't pass the safety car before I enter the pits. He can go whenever, and he's decided to go now. He's kind of caught CMP sleeping a little bit as Astro comes around the penultimate corner. Now the last corner, he's caught CMP sleeping just a little bit. There is no overtaking allowed until you hit the start finish line to neutralise the rest of the grid. There's a load of drivers now starting to use up their batteries just a little bit to keep up with the front pack, As further back we got I want to have a look at this. Was Suave caught sleeping? I think Suave was caught sleeping. Because that gap to J-Van has just really opened up. So here comes Aro. Aro's got the better exit. He's going to use up a load of his battery. Suave's not using up any of his battery at all. Aro having using up some of his. So Aro ahead of Suave. The first move done since the safety car has come in. Jump back forward. Let's find ourselves a nice juicy battle as Moo has been caught out as well. So Moo with no battery at all. Finn using up a bit of his battery to catch up with Moo and pass him on the straight. Does Anonymous do the same? Anonymous got the overspeed on Moo. Let's jump on board with our fancy camera angle as Moo does one-liners, Anonymous does a slightly different line. Anonymous uses up his battery and through goes Anonymous before turn 4. So Moo losing out a couple of positions. Now he's got to defend from Mr. Revenge, the Italian in the Ferrari. As up the inside goes Revenge, makes it work. It's a little bit sticky. There's a little bit of a nudge, I think. But through goes Revenge. Moo now starting to drop down the pack. As here comes Owen with using up a bit of his battery. J-Van's going to use up a bit of his and throws it up the inside of Owen. Makes it stick as we go around the left and around double right-hander. Makes it stick this time. Aro's right behind Owen. Excuse me, ready to pounce as well. There's a lot of understeer going on. Aro's managed to get himself an absolute lightning exit. So Aro jumping out the slipstream. Got past Owen. Owen jumps in the slipstream. Used up a little bit of his battery. Does he dive up the inside? No. Aro's a bit wiser to that. Further up ahead. Moo's just been passed by J-Van. So Moo now dropping down the order. Owen tucks right into the inside as Aro gives Moo just a little bit of a touch. As further back we have Suave who's off. So Suave uses some energy. Owen doesn't really use up any. Suave tries to go around the outside. Moo just understeers straight into him. That's unfortunate. So Suave losing out. Through goes Capel. Does Draz come through? No, Draz does not come through. So Capel overtakes Suave again. Owen with a little bit of contacts and manages to escape. Moo now down to 8th position and he was up into 3rd. Aro having a massive moment and wobble coming onto this back straight. But not losing out any positions because Moo has no energy. Remember that. Everyone else around him does have energy and plenty of it. Looking further ahead, J-Van's in his own little world and Revenge is in his own little world. Anonymous starting to chase down the Flying Finn, and the Flying Finn is now starting to tussle potentially with CMP as we start lap 32, and Astro being Astro has decided to become Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton combined and piss off into the distance. CMP going through turn 2, still in 2nd position. Finn's not going to give up that easily as he's trying a different line, trying to open up that steering, get a little bit extra speed. Does he go for a lunge? No, he doesn't as we go through turn 4. Gets a lot closer. None of us there, just behind. So we got a hard tyre versus a soft tyre versus a medium tyre. All in the same cars as well, so this will be interesting. Let's jump back on board on this fancy camera angle if it's alright with everybody else. As we can see, in the F1 car's mirrors, we can still see Anonymous behind us as we go around the left-hander, late apex. Finn's doing a good job. CMP's doing a fantastic job dealing with the pressure. He's got just over a quarter of his energy left with 10 laps to go, coming around this last corner as we look a bit further back. There is a huge gaggle of cars. So J-Van must have had a slight error somewhere, because Moo's now caught right up to the back of him. Capil's now right on the back of Moo. Suave's now right on the back of him, and Draz is right on the back as Owen comes out, and there is a safety car. Right, so what happened then? So there was something I did miss. Right, so Owen's had a massive moment on his own. Got rear damage. So I missed something because there was also a yellow flag. Is it further up here? Yeah, there. As J-Van goes spinning around. Nearly collects Moo in the process. Moo's now going to try and capitalise. He does capitalise. But I think there was a safety car. I think the safety car might have been called, because Moo just gave that spot straight back, and everyone's sort of slowing down a little bit. Yes, the safety car was called, so the safety car is now coming out, so it's a very delayed reaction on the safety car, whether that was on BX or me. I have a feeling it might have been me, but out comes the safety car. So everybody from P8 down to P12 comes into pits, including Owen. So where does this put everybody else? So a lot of these guys have got, all of these guys have got enough fuel to go to the end. J-Van's going out. Moo's put 100% in because he's probably going to rev his car out a little bit. Suave's put 89 in. Draz has put 78 and Owen's put 72. So a lot of these guys have got enough, everyone's now got enough fuel to go to the end. So we're going to stay with Astro just until he catches up with the safety car. I think the safety car was called because of the two massive offs. So, safety car goes. Astro is now caught up with the safety car, so we're now going to be starting to form up this pack. So, Capillan catches up to the back of Aro. Aro's managed to gain a couple of... made himself back up to 6th position after that first sort of couple of lap little incident he had. Capillan going to catch up to the rest of this group, as we got J-Van and Suave reasonably close together. We then got Moo, Draz and Owen, the two teammates versus Owen, and bringing up the rear as we come down the start finish straight. Draz has barely used, if not barely used his overtake, if not hasn't used it at all. I forgot I did that. I did do a couple of little toot-toots. So, the rest of the grid now just weaving around, trying to build some heat into the tyres. trying to keep the heat in the tyres as well. So I believe, yeah, we're going around for one more lap. Once the rest of the group's together, we'll go through the grid quick. Right, so we're going around for one more lap. It's way too late for the safety car to come in. It could be called in part of the way around this lap. It all depends. Right, so the pace is now being told to pick up to 100, which we will sit at now. So we'll get the pace going just a little bit more as Owen is now coming down the back. Start finish straight as we have got Swavy weaving all over the road. Moo doing the same, going from quite literal white line to white line. So the rest of the grid is now all together. So we got Astro still in first, CMP still in second. We then got the Flying Finn in third position doing an absolute fantastic. Nonma in fourth. He did qualify outside the top 10 if my memory serves me correctly. So good job from him, bringing him back up to fourth. We then got Mr. Revenge in fifth, Aro in sixth, Kapil in seventh, Javan in eighth. Very closely followed by Swavy in ninth. We then got Moo in 10th. Again, going to point it out, no energy. We then got Draz in 11th, and then we got finally bringing up the rear, we got Owen in 12th. So again, we're going to follow the safety car until the safety car gets told to come in, which I think is going to be here. Most likely the crew, everything's together. We're still at 100. Yep, being told to come in. So safety car is in this lap. So does Astro do an Astro thing, and does he shoot off here? Or is that what is CMP going to expect that? No, CMP's not going to expect it. Astro's just got to launch again. CMP's been caught sleeping. Who else has been caught sleeping? Javan's been caught sleeping as well. So's Aro. There's a few drivers on the grid been caught sleeping already. Was Mr. How did Revenge get damage? Whoa! What happened here? So did Astro just back up the field? Astro's not on the brakes at all. Not on the brakes, not on the brakes, not on the brakes. Okay, so it's further back, so it's back here. What's happened? Oh, I see it. So Anonymous hit Finn, which has made Anonymous stationary, which made Revenge go stationary and have damage front and rear, and no other driver around him has got damage apart from Aro. So Revenge has obviously gone straight into the pit lane. Aro stays out. And here comes Kapil. Kapil comes through. Does not hang around. Swavy's trying to have a look up the inside as well. Does he make it work? Yes, he does. Aro starting to struggle now due to that front wing damage. Here comes Moo. Moo has a look up the inside of turn 3. Makes it work. Does he stick? Does it stick? It does. So Moo now up to 8. Aro starting to struggle a little bit down into next position. Who's that? Kapil. Kapil. What's happened to Kapil? Oh, Kapil just goes in too hot on his own. Oh, that's unfortunate. So Kapil goes off on his own. that move he did earlier, a fantastic move, now all undone as Suave has a moment as well. So Mr. Revenge comes out, going through turn 2 at the moment, all the way down in plumb last. Suave leading this pack, moving 7th. Let's jump forward, let's see if any other battles are going on at the moment. So CMP now starting to become under pressure from Finn. CMP's got just over a quarter of his battery. Finn's still got just over half, so Finn can start using it. There we go. Some energy being used by Finn, energy still being used by CMP. Right, I'm just going to read the comments whilst I catch up for a minute. Yeah, so Astro definitely would have probably lapped the whole field had the safety car not been pulled out. Definitely agree. As, yeah, he's just been, Astro's just been dominant here. Untouchable. I mean, the safety car's only been in a lap or two, and look at the gap he's already got to CMP. So CMP still holding off from the Flying Finn. He's doing everything he can. The Flying Finn's doing everything he can, as well as we're further back. What's happened here? Suave. What's happened to Suave? Oh, Suave just touches the gravel, goes out onto the grass, does a little bunny hop, nearly saves it, does a good job of keeping out of everybody's way. Is this a safety car call? Yes, it is a safety car call. So the safety car is out. I've just seen it move. So RO is also pitted, so RO is now behind Mr. Revenge in 12th. Revenge is in 11th as we jump through the rest of the grid. Safety car's been called out, so there should be no overtaking at all. In actual fact, there's a safety car itself. So Astro catching right up most of the packs together. Who's just dropped right off? Obviously it's Mo and Kapil and Suave all dropped right off. I think Mo's may have realised he's trying. I think Mo's trying to burn off a little bit of his fuel because he's got quite a lot of it. Now Draz is up to 7th. He was at last on the last safety car restart, so he's now up to 7th. So good jump from him. It's Mr. Revenge. Here he is. He's coming around the long right-hander, having a little drifting session in a Formula 1 car. I'm surprised you can do that in an F1 car. He does have a half-second time penalty though. This will complicate things. I don't think it will. I think it'll be all sorted out. Huh? How the fuck? Whoa, lads. Hang on. So, how fast am I? The rest of the grid's doing 70. Why are you two doing over 70? Why? Suave. Whoa, there goes through Revenge. Okay, so Suave and Kapil obviously need to sort their stuff out. Both of them need to pit as well for damage. So Ara potentially could go up to a top 10 here. What's the safety car doing? It's not been called in. No, it's not been called in, so we're going to go out for another lap. So, does that mean that these two drivers are going to come into the pits? Swavy's coming in. Capil's coming in. Okay, so both drivers are coming in. I don't know how you messed that up, Moo. So, going through the grid, we have got obviously the safety car in pole position where it should. No, I'm joking. So we got Astro in first position still, CMP in second still, Juno in third still since the last safety car restart, Anonima in fourth still. We got J-Van in fifth, Owen in sixth, Draz in seventh. So good start from, so good load of positions from those two drivers. We then got Moo in eighth, Revenge in ninth, Aro in 10th, Swabby in 11th, Capil in 12th as we're going to go forward through. What the fuck? Oh. Right, so how many people have we got in here? I actually haven't looked. Yeah, it did escalate quickly. So for everybody here, this is the moment that effectively caused a lot of stir. Now, before we watch the rest of this, what Moo just did here was stupid. He did say he probably wasn't really paying attention, but he did go full on the brakes. Now, under safety car rule, everybody should be prepared to stop. Now, maybe it's worth giving each other a bit of space. This is something we need to review. Now, had this gone to Stewart's, Moo would have gotten a penalty. However, I cannot stress this enough. Whether you're drivers of ALR, whether you're starting to race, just getting into racing, never ever do what this guy's doing now. Don't do it. Don't be that guy. Don't do this. Because of these actions, it was decided with people higher than, way above me, way above, sort of high up, it was decided that Revenge was banned. Unfortunate, because we have lost a good racer. But yeah, going forward, safety car got called in, which I missed. Astro's nailed the restart. CMP's nailed the restart. Astro's gotten himself a half-second time penalty, but still losing out time to Astro, who's now used up almost all of his energy with 3 laps to go. So Finn and Anonymous staying the same. Who's that in the background? Draz is having a look up the inside of Owen, who's behind Astro. Has now, due to Moo and Revenge pin, Astro has now got himself 2 free positions. So has Swabby, so has Capil. So Astro has now got to defend like mad against Swabby in the slightly quicker, well, much quicker, straight line speed SF19 car. Let's jump back forward as we got Draz, who's now starting to use up his overtake. He's going to start using a lot of it, and he's going to start using it in plentiful. Owen still got some. He's got less than quarter. He's got less than quarter. J-Fan's still got loads left as well. So does Anonymous. So does Finn. CMP. No, there's a red light and a green light. The red light means you're below quarter. The green light means you're over quarter. So CMP's got to defend like hell now. As Moo makes a complete mess of turn 2 and nearly turn 3. Revenge is out ahead of Moo. So let's keep following these guys round. As in the background we got Aro versus Suavi. Let's jump back and have a look. Suavi just seems to get a lot better of a run. He does have a late lunge. He has a very late lunge. Very, very late lunge. Aro gives him the space, but Aro has the better line, I think. He has the outside for one corner, but then the inside for another. Suavi gives him space as Aro swoops back past in front. So Aro keeps 8th position at the moment. Both of them have got the same amount of energy at the moment. So who uses how much? Who's going to use more energy? Aro uses a little bit. Suavi's still using it until about now. So they've both got about the same. Aro's managed to gain a little bit of a distance to Suavi. Further up ahead, Draz has finally gotten past Owen. I'm going to give Draz his moment of glory, because he's not really had much over this race as we go on this jumping board with him. As Draz just uses up a load of overtake, goes around the outside of Owen for turn 1, makes the apex for 2. Fantastic move. Very clean as well. With 2 to go. Does anyone have anything left in the tank to give as we jump further forward? Does Finn hold on to third place, or does he attack for second? CMP still battling hard with Finn and Onoma, trying to scrape himself a podium, a top 3 finish here at Barcelona. Go around the right-hander, onto the back straight. Any penalties? None that I saw. I don't think anyone gets any penalties here. All 3 make the apex. As we look further back, okay, we definitely need to go further back. What's happened here? So Owen's now really dropped back off the pace. What's happened to Draz? Oh, Draz's moment of glory. Does he just send it a bit too hot? Oh, he just sends it too hot. Draz just had his moment of glory stolen from him by going in too hot. Owen comes around the long left hand, does a little twitch and uses some energy. So does Aro. At the moment, Suavi has the most energy out of all these 3 drivers. Aro's all over the back of Owen. Further up ahead, Javan's got a half-second penalty. Up ahead, he's going to be completely clear of these guys. Aro using energy, Suavi using energy, Owen don't think using energy. Let's jump on board as we go around the outside with Aro, as I can't figure out how to work a camera angle. Aro's got a half-second penalty, loses out to Suavi. Owen still keeps his position. Suavi trying to keep 7th. Aro gives him a little nudge, backs off though. Further up ahead, as we go on to the penultimate laps, Astro just buggered off, and what's gone on? Mr. Revenge coming around towards, he just drops it on the curb. He's not having a good time at all. Luckily he ghosts and doesn't hit Moo, excuse me. So Aro, can he dive out the inside of Suavi into turn 1? No, not this time. As we go around on the penultimate lap, I'm going to jump forward to the battle for 2nd position. CMP still got a little bit of energy left. He's going to leave that, I reckon, till the last minute. Finn using up a lot of his. He's now below the 1/4 line. And Onoma still has got loads of energy left. He's going to definitely start to use it and start to try and, I wouldn't say abuse that overtake energy, but he's now going to try and use it up. CMP gets a better exit than Finn. Finn struggling just a little bit this lap. Looking further back, Aro has managed to get past Suavi for 7th position. So Suavi's lost out to Aro, now back again. We're going to jump back on board. So Aro ahead of Suavi. Probably happened in sector 1. Aro's got a half-second penalty, so he's going to drop back from behind Swavi. Let's jump back on board this camera angle again. There goes Swavi. Aro's just extremely late on the brakes. Not late enough as he goes over the sausage curb. Does he get a penalty with that? No, I think he gets away with it. As he has a big moment on the back there as well. Swavi has basically no energy. Aro has basically no energy. Owen has pretty much none as well. Javan got another penalty. But still plentiful of energy. As CMP has got none left at all. Used it on that last, as we're on the final lap. Can Finn get anything left out of those soft compound tyres? Has he got anything to give to CMP to try and take second position? Let's go around turn 4 for the last time. Or can Anonyma try and get a top 3 here at Barcelona to make it an Aston Martin 1-3. Can he manage that, or does the Haas hold on to third position? Let's jump further back quick. Nothing going on here. This is the battle at the moment. This will be something. This is we're going to watch for the next couple of corners. As we come around the hairpin for the final time, Anonymous all over the back of Finn. Can Anonymous make Finn make any mistake? As we're going to jump forwards to Astro, who has led since lap 1, has been completely dominant. He's had his moment and he's won victory here in Super Formula class. CMP comes around the last corner, takes second position. Finn takes third, Anonyma takes fourth. So a fantastic race from Finn and Anonyma. Javan takes fifth, Owen comes across the line in sixth, Swavi seventh, Aro eighth, Kapil in ninth. Draz to round off the top 10 as we got as we follow Mo, as TMP and Mr. Revenge have both left us this race. So unfortunately, both Ferrari drivers have left. Both Ferrari drivers are no longer racing in this series. One's been banned due to the actions on track, and the other one, to my knowledge, just doesn't want to race no more in this series. So fantastic work from everybody. And I'm just going to leave it there because I just come out to mess around. Sorry, I thought I'd add that bit in. So there we have it. The first Super Formula comms is done. Yeah, I know, Revenge. I'm not a problem, mate. Had it gone to Stewart, he would have had a penalty. Okay, yeah. I know I get it's painful to watch. In the heat of the moment, yeah, you're angry, you see red, but the best thing to do, I know hindsight's a wonderful thing to speak about, but the best thing to do is take a breath, send it to stewards and let the stewards handle it, because that would have been a good result for the Ferraris. But moving on and moving forward, there are the standings, if I can find them. Just give me 2 moments of your time. Where are the standings? Ah, here they are. Here we go. So the standings, the corrected standings stand as followed. We have got SSV in the Red Bull Racing taking the lead in the championship. However, Anonyma ties for P1 in the Drivers' Championship, both with 41 points. 1 point behind is CMP in the Brawn GP car with 40 points. Then we got Finn in the Haas with 34 points, and then rounding off the top 5 is Astro who's got 30 points. On the constructors, we've got Aston Martin in first position with 71, Haas in second with 54, and 2 points behind them is Brawn GP with 52. So the constructors is very much still open, and the drivers' championship with 2 to go is going to be extremely interesting. I can tell you now, if Haas wins the constructors, if Haas wins the instructors, then Gunther Stein definitely should go back to Haas, but this is sim stuff. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it was very long overdue, I know, my apologies. We have got another race tomorrow night in the Super Formula Series, so I will be there this time doing my safety car duties. I can actually save the clip as well. So yeah, everybody take care, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.